I'm going to be going immediately into One Punch Man webcomic spoilers in this video, so if you only follow the manga and you don't want to know what's going to happen, I suggest you check out now. However, I won't be going into My Hero spoilers. Alright, so I think I got a pretty good one today because this is fascinating. Like the truth about Blue, or the truth about what Blue is, or who Blue is, not canonically, but just overall, like what his character represents. And I'm sure you know where I'm going. You clicked on the video, you saw the thumbnail, and I'm surprised that I didn't pick up on this sooner. And maybe you did, and that's cool if you did, but I'll tell you the exact moment when I noticed things were a little odd, and then the dominoes started falling. It was this panel right here, when Blue goes against the crab monster, and the way his method of attack, when he shoots on the claw, shoots on the other claw, and then attacks him. I was like, that's pretty cool. That reminds me of Gran Torino and Izuku. Actually, if you saw my Chapter 128 review recently, I say that in regards to how Blue is moving here. And then afterwards, I was like, wait, there's another similarity besides that. Oh, wait, there's another one. Wait a second. There's not just a few similarities. They're pretty much the same character here. Oh my God, one is up to his old tricks again, and he is parodying existing IPs still currently within the series. And, a lot of us have come to love One Punch Man because of the parody aspect to it. You always hear that, One Punch Man's a parody, this and that. And that is certainly one of the elements to the series, for sure. It blends it very well, along with its comedy, action, drama. One is just an expert at that stuff. But I just want to go over what parody means exactly because, I don't know, sometimes people kind of get confused with what it means. I mean, typically it just means imitation going for a comedic effect, typically. Now, that's not what's happening here off the bat with Blue. It's not like he's goofy or anything. He's a pretty solid, serious character. He hasn't really had the comedic turn yet, but knowing, One Punch Man, and it will eventually get to that point. That is the great thing about this series, is that it takes all of the pompous, powerful characters from other existing series, and he puts them into this world and humbles them. Usually we'll have a humorous, humbling moment for these characters, and I'm sure that Blue will have it. But regardless, this is definitely an inspiration by My Hero Academia from One here, which is awesome because we're coming full circle. If you have seen my previous video that I made last year about the similarities between My Hero and One Punch Man, it seemed more apparent that Horikoshi, the creator of My Hero, was more inspired than One, if anything. And that was definitely true to a degree, but now it's the art that inspired the artist has now inspired the original art, which is pretty cool. So let's go into the similarities here, because like I said, there's so many and it goes deeper than what you think, and I think you're going to get a kick out of this. So first of all, they're both 16. I mean, currently Izuku is and Blue is. I mean, at the start of the series, Izuku is in 16. Spoilers! He's 16 right now in the manga. I'm not going to be spoiling anything else. But yeah, we've got the age thing going on here. And the age also comes with inexperience that both of these characters have. It was made apparent in the latest chapter of the webcomic that Blue is very inexperienced in live combat. Obviously, a similar thing with Izuku, at least in the first 3 seasons of the series, him being a student and all, the whole academia aspect of the series. So we've got that going for them. And also, let's just take a look at their aesthetic for a second, because while we don't know the official color scheme of Blue, and we won't know for many years, the coloring that you're seeing right here is done by the awesome artist, King the Wildfire on Twitter. Please check him out. This is his take on the color scheme, and I think it's going to be more or less pretty accurate to what One is going to come up with him, because his name is Blue after all, so we can assume that Blue is making up most of his palette here. And as we go over to Izuku, we'll know that his whole thing is green, and that more so goes into shonen mascots, how they have their whole color scheme things. It kind of broke out in the early aughts, I suppose, but Horikoshi continued it with Izuku being dominantly green, that's his thing. So we've got the green and we've got the blue thing here. And then if we're going further into the aesthetics, like their power-ups look extremely similar. Like when Izuku activates full cowling, he starts to get like electrical, and his skin starts to change colors. But with Blue, he gets pretty much the same thing. Like when he gets serious, we saw in chapter 125, he starts getting electrical just like Izuku. And then let's go back to what I was talking about in the beginning with similar methods of attack, because they both have like this Z striking formation that they do where they'll dash and hit one corner or an area or something, and then they'll dash over to another one, and then they'll dash into you for their attack, which is usually like coming from their right arm or something like that. Or at least Izuku was in the beginning of the series, because we'll see right here that this is his, initial, or should I say just usual method of attack. Like it's kind of like a misdirection type of thing. It's super fast. It looks very cool, obviously, but they are literally doing the same exact thing, both coming with right strikes for their method of attack. But not all of their movesets are created equal. Of course, they're not like clones of each other, but because we see that Blue does have like the Goku Black Key Sword, which is definitely inspired by Goku Black, in my opinion. Come on, it's iconic at this point, but still very cool nonetheless. But then the similarities continue when we come to their big moves. So we saw Blue's Fist Cannon, which is just awesome. It's like, just a big gigantic punch, energy blast type thing, which, destroyed his opponent. And yeah, this is pretty much Izuku's Smash, All Might Smash, whatever, just the Smash from My Hero, especially reminiscent of when Izuku first does like his 100% full power a smash to the robot, which I'm sure most of us have seen. I mean, we've at least seen, that far into the series at this point. And even the way that like their sleeves are destroyed by this attack, and the velocity of it and the impact, and it being a gigantic punch, I think, this is definitely another inspiration from one here. Now, going back to Izuku punching the test robot, we saw that it completely, like, destroyed his arm when he tried to do that. Like, it wrecked his whole body when he just was using even just a taste of 100% of his power, and that's because it was given to him. His body is not able to, like, control anywhere close to using 100% of that crazy power, because it was given to him by All Might, the number one hero at that point in time in the series. And that's because, he was given All for One as well when he was young, and then he cultivated the power of it over like the span of like 35, 40 years or something, and made it into the grossly overpowered thing that we know it to be today. So now just giving that to young Izuku, there's no way that he's going to be able to control that. Therefore, he needs to train and also wear something, wear his costume to help him adapt to being able to use just a taste of his power. So that being said, I think we're seeing pretty much the same thing with Blue here, because in chapter 125, it was basically implied that like he needs to wear the suit to regulate the power that he has. Because like when he's chasing after Saitama, he says, I can only use this once, but there was no other way. I need to remove the limiter on my suit. So maybe this crazy energy power that Blue has, like he, just like Izuku, cannot just control it at will, and it's just so overwhelming that like he needs to wear this suit so that it can regulate it. But also, just like Izuku, he can use 100% of his power, and it's going to be devastating, but it's also going to wreck him at the same time. So I guess this might be the explanation as to why he's wearing the suit, but also the similarities continue, baby, because Blast! We can't forget about Blast. Blue is Blast's son. Blast, the number one hero, just like All Might was the number one hero, and we can assume at this point, it has been confirmed, but Blue is hereditarily inheriting these abilities from Blast, like these energy abilities, and Blast is obviously the number one hero. He's implied to be like close to disaster level god in power. He's just absurd. So him passing on this absurd mood set to Blue is just like All Might passing on All for One, or I'm sorry, One for All to Izuku. And let me point it out, they're both the number one heroes, or at least, All Might was. So that's pretty cool, right? And then we could go a little further with the similarities, like character traits. Like they're both more or less like genuine heroes. Like they do feel like they're doing the right thing, and they are, I don't know, so far typically altruistic. I mean, Deku of course is, but Blue remains to be seen. But so far he seems to legitimately want to help the world. He wants to be the true hero, just like Izuku. Except, Blue has or at least it's kind of implied that he has beef with Blast, maybe, but Izuku obviously doesn't have beef with All Might, but that's where the the stories are going to change once again. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. I mean, I think it's pretty clear to me, but maybe you disagree, maybe you agree. Let me know in the comments. But if you like the video, guys, if it entertained you, please give it a like. I also have a Patreon. It gives you access to a weekly Q&A. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.